we need 8 parameters to be estimated. We have to use 8 parameters to estimate the big data. Distinctively good and bad characteristics, so those percentage weights of each of these will be calculated. So we have the continuous target. Pearson correlation is the one which can be used for continuous variable. Before the analytical algorithms are run over the data, the segmentation will be completed. Hello students, welcome to the next session of Cloud Computing and Big Data Analytics. I am Dr. Soumeshri from Department of Computer Science, Vidyashram First Grade College. Let's look at the other parts of the cloud computing pre-processing, big data pre-processing. How does the big data are applied for pre-processing procedures? Alright, some of have been already studied or already I have explained some of the concepts like how to perform the segmentation or fragmentation, cleaning up, all these things I have already explained, isn't it? Let's move on to the next topic. The next topic or the topic that I'm going to explain in this session is weights of evidence coding. What is this weights of evidence coding? What it is going to do with the big data? Let's check all these things. The weights of evidence coding is the part which will be carried out after the categorization. Okay, what is the advantage of categorization is reduces the number of variables that we are going to use to store a big data, isn't it? So categorization reduces the number of categories for the categorical variable where you can create a variable set. Similar kinds of variables will be categorized and reduces the number of categories for only variables which can be included in a category. Whereas for continuous variables, when there is no category, you can't categorize them. For continuous variables, categorization will introduce new variables. It will add some more groups or categories to the present set of variables when they are continuous. Okay. So consider a regression model. If you consider a regression model, what is a regression? It is, we have two types, linear regression and logistic regression. Let's look at all those models in the next logistics, that is the regression concept. Let's take that. If you check or if you consider a regression model with age as one characteristic, age has 4 categories and 3 parameters. Okay, 3 is young, middle and old age, and 4 categories of these 3 parameters. And purpose. So purpose has 5 categories and 4 parameters. What are the purpose? Okay, so the regression model has 2 characteristics, age and purpose, with different types of categories and parameters. The model with these many categories and parameters will look like this. If you take the expression, the regression model, it will look like that: y equals b0 plus b1 age 1, b2 age 2, b3 age 3. We have 3 parameters and 4 categories in the age, and 5 categories and 4 parameters in purpose. So we have B4, beta 4, purpose 1, beta 5, purpose 2, beta 6, purpose 3, and beta 7, purpose 4. So this can be represented in a regression model for age and the purpose like this. Despite having only 2 characteristics, it has only 2 characteristics, isn't it? The regression model. The model still needs 8 parameters. If you check the expression, how many parameters you need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Without the category parameter, we have the beta 0. Even though we have only 2 characteristics, we need 8 parameters to be estimated. We have to use 8 parameters to estimate the big data. So it would be handy if you have a monotonic transformation, if you transform all these things to a single form, such that the model could be rewritten as this: y equals b0 plus b1 into f of age 1, age 2, age 3. We will make it monotonous, or single form we'll take it. Then we take it as beta 2 with f of purpose 1, purpose 2, 3 and 4. So we can reduce the models or reduce the expression like this by using the weights of the evidence coding. We'll consider the weight of the data, how it is critical or not critical. Based on the weights of the evidence coding, we can reduce the parameters. Okay, the transformation should have a monotonically increasing or decreasing relationship with y. Y is the expression. We get the data, the final data, what we get by the regression model. So there must be the transformation should have monotonically. It is in a single way. Either it must increase or decrease. What must increase and what must decrease is relationship with the final data that we get from this regression model. Okay, the weights of evidence coding is a concept, is one example of transformation that can be used for increasing or decreasing the relationship with y. So you have to increase or decrease the relationship of these characteristics with y. Okay. So for this, we make use of the weights of evidence coding. Let's look at the words of weights of evidence coding, how we can calculate this. It is logarithmic transformation is applied to the good and the bad characteristics. Because of this logarithmic transformation, a positive or negative weights of evidence means you will have the good characteristics greater than or more than the bad characteristics, right? So the weights of evidence transformation so implements a transformation monotonically, that is with single expression related to the target variable, which is the target variable. Y is the target variable. Okay, the model further can be reformulated like this: y equals beta 0 plus beta 1 of evidence of weights of evidence related to age plus beta 2 weights of evidence with the purpose. Again, you can take only 2 characteristics, age and purpose, and weight of these age and purpose will be considered for transformation. Okay, here we have the calculation of the weights of evidence. We have the missing values, missing range. What is the number of counts related to the society? Say you take a society or an apartment. Okay, how many numbers are there which different ages? Good characteristics, bad characteristic, distinctively good and bad characteristic. So those percentage weights of each of this will be calculated. Weight is nothing but this percentile what we have considered will be calculated with an average of weights of evidence. What is the weight? Like negative value, you can either have negative or positive value. Okay, when there is negative value, you can observe that when there is weight of evidence is negative value, you can observe that the distinctive bad percentage is greater than good percentage. When there is positive weights of evidence, you can observe that the distinctive bad percentage is less than the good percentage. When there is a good percentage greater than the bad, the weights of evidence will be positive, whereas it will be negative when bad is greater than good characteristic. Okay. Now, let's move on to the next concept, that is variable selection. How do you select a variable in the datas? Okay, so there are many analytical modeling exercises with lots of variables. There will be so many variables, of which typically only a few has to contribute to the prediction of the target variable. You will be having only, the thing is, the process what you are doing now is cleaning up of the data. That means you have to remove all the unnecessary data, unnecessary variables that are added with the data collection, that have come up with the data collection. Now we have to remove all those things. These are the cleaning process that we use. Now we have so many sets of variables that are given in the data table. Now what we have to do is, we have to select a distinct variable which helps or contribute for the prediction of the target variable. Target variable is nothing but variables which are only necessary, removing the unnecessary variables. So we have to select the necessary variables from the group of unnecessary and necessary. We have both unnecessary and necessary variables. We have to select only the variables that we need for processing. Okay, for this we have to follow a variable selection procedure. For example, the average application or behavioral scorecard in credit scoring. You have to check the behavioral scorecard in the credit scoring that has between 10 and 15 variables. It has 10 to 15 variables from which you have to get a scorecard of behavioral from the credit scoring. So the key question is how to find these variables which are necessary, which are not necessary, which we can throw out. So how to find these necessary variables? So filters are the necessary mechanism or the suitable mechanism that can be applied to select the necessary variable or the target variable. Okay, so they work for measuring the univariate correlations. Only one kind of univariate or single type of data or single type of correlations will be there on which the filters will work. Okay, so there will be the univariate correlation between each variable and the target. If you have only univariate correlation, the filters will work. Okay, they allow for a quick screening of which variables should be retained for further analysis. What are the variables that are needed for the next analysis procedure? We have various filter measures that have been suggested in the literature. There are the manuals and literatures which suggest the measures or filtering tools which can be applied for variable selection. One can be categorized them as depicted in the table. So we have the continuous target. Pearson correlation is the one which can be used for continuous variable, and the target is the Fisher score. We get the Fisher score which decides which is the target variable. Then we have the categorical variable. Again, it uses Fisher score, or ANOVA is another tool we can use. The categorical target, in case of it is the continuous target, it is the categorical target we get. It is information value, Kramer's fifth value, and the entropy value. These are the categorical target we can get. Okay, so we have the Pearson correlation expression with rho P. Rho stands for a variable. Rho stands for a variable. It is calculated with this expression. Rho of P equals summation of xi minus x dash with the base setting I equals 1 up to n. From I to n, summation from 1 to n we take we will get x of I minus x dash into y of I minus y dash divided by square root of summation of xi minus x dash whole square into square root of summation from yi minus y dash whole square. So this is the expression we can use for calculating a target variable. So rho, this is the symbol of rho. Rho means a variable. As I said, it is a variable. We have to calculate the target variable using this expression. Okay, it measures a linear dependency between two variables. We take two variables and there will be a linear dependency. That means there is no multidimensional dependency, only one directional dependency is there and always varies between plus or minus 1. So the target variable value always varies between plus or minus 1. Alright. So to apply it as a filter, if you apply that expression as a filter, one would select all the variables for which the Pearson correlation, it is for the continuous target, is significantly different from 0. So according to the p-value, that is the set of variables we use. Okay, or for example the ones where row of p or set of variables is greater than, correlation value is greater than 0.50. Okay, the Fisher score for this can be calculated as follows, like xg complement minus xb complement divided by square root of sg2 plus sg square plus sb square. So you can use the Fisher score for the categorical variable. Okay, where the xg complement and xb complement represents the average value of the variable. What is the average score of the variable for the goods or the bads, whatever it is, and SG2 or SB2 represents the corresponding variance in the value of the variables. How much variance is there in the set of values for a particular variable, that will be calculated by the SG square or SB square. Okay, so this is for SG for goods and SB for bads. Okay, high values of the Fisher score indicate a predictive variable. You have a predictive variable which can be used for further analysis. The information value we use, filter, is based on the weights of evidence that we have calculated in the previous section. So information value or IV filter, it is a type of filter. It based on the weights of evidence and is calculated using this expression. Information value, it takes the set of variables, is summation from 1 to k, that is distinctive good of I minus distinctive bad of I multiplied by weights of evidence coding, where the variable k represents the number of categories of the variable. So categorical variable we are considering. So the k indicates the number of categories in a variable. How many categories are there in the variable will be represented by k. It starts from I to k number of categories. Okay. So the following rules are applied for the information value. If the value is less than, information value is less than 0.02, they are unpredictive variables. You can't predict the changes of value in the variable. If the information value is between 0.02 and 0.1, it is weakly predictive. You can somehow predict the variables. If it ranges from 0.1 to 0.3, it is medium level predictive. The variable is medium level predictive. If the information value increases 0.3 range, then it is strongly predictive variable. So predictive variable is one which can be used in regression models, and I will tell you in the next session. So what is a predictive variable is which can have independent values. Like if you take the growth of a plant, predictive variable of growth of a plant can be considered as number of weight of fertilizers, amount of fertilizers that have been utilized, amount of pesticides that have been utilized, amount of weight of the soil we have used or other measures we have taken. They are all predictive. We can predict what can be applied to that set of variables, which is called as the predictive type of variable. Okay. Then the information value assumes that the variables has been categorized. We have the categorized variables. It can actually be used to adjust the categorization. So these information value can be used to adjust the number of variables or categories of variables. We have many software tools which will provide the interactive support to these tools, where the modeler, the predictive variable, can adjust the categories and gauge the impact. They can measure the impact of the information value over the categorical variables. Okay. Another filter measure based upon the chi-squared analysis, what we can use filter is the Cramer's V filter you can use to categorize the variable or to select the target variable in the variable selection. Okay, this is about how do you select a target variable. Apart from that, why do you think filters are handy? They are handy because they allow you to reduce the number of dimensions. You will from multivariate, you can take it to univariate category. So dimensions of the data set in the analysis in a quicker way. Apart from that, one of the drawback of variable selection or the filters is they work univariately. Only on one kind of variable they work and typically do not consider the correlation between the dimensions. If you have multivariate variables, the filters will not consider those multivariate of the variable. It considers only univariate or only one characteristic of the variable, and the other characteristics of a single variable will be ignored by these variable selection filters. Okay. So, a follow-up input selection step during the modeling phase is needed to further refine the characteristics of a variable. So, you need to further filter the characteristics. Okay. Next is the segmentation. How do you segment the data or variables? Sometimes the data is segmented before the analytical modeling starts. Before the analytical algorithms are run over the data, the segmentation will be completed. With this, we are finishing the pre-processing concept. Next, we shall move on to the analytics part. How does the data can be analyzed? These are all about cleaning or pre-processing of the data. How you can perform. After this, the next step is to apply the analytics. We have categories of analytics, different types of analytics that can be applied on the filtered and pre-processed data. What are those analytical processes which we can implement on these pre-processed data? Let's know that in the next sessions. Thank you.